Hello, this is my lab 2 presentation, Lines of Charges. Introduction. The purpose of this lab is to compare the charge calculated using the point charge model from the previous lab versus the line of charge model used in this lab. For the overall result from lab 1, I got 1.32 times 10 to the negative 8 column using the point charge model, and for this lab I got 2.98 times 10 to the negative 8 column. Some fundamental physics principles I use in this lab include Newton's second law, which proves that the acceleration of an object depends on the mass of the object and the force acting on it. Coulomb's law explains the attraction or repulsion between the two electric charges, and gravitational force explains the attractive force between two objects that has a mass. And in this lab, we made some assumptions, such as each of these tapes will have the same net charge, so the charge on tape B will be the same as the charge on tape A. The charge on each tape will also distribute uniformly, and the air resistance can be negligible in this lab. Coding. First, I put in all of my initial conditions, and next I have my first function to create the line of charges. The second function is used to calculate the electric field, and finally I have my calculation loop to go through each point charge on the line of charges. And here's my result of my lab. It shows the top arrow is for the electric force arrow, and then the electric field is cover my tape B, and my tape A is the blue line below it, and this pink arrow is the gravitational force. For the calculation, is showing the magnitude of the electric force is almost equal to the magnitude of the gravitational force. For calculation, the gravitational force and electric force is pretty much the same at lab 1. Yes, and so for electric force is equal to charge times the electric field. So for this lab, I only changed my electric field to the electric field of a rod instead of just a point charge, because the line of charges is the same as the rod. So after rearrange the equation and plug in the number, I got the charge on tape B equal to 2.98 times 10 to the negative 8 column. Conclusion. Some sources of errors that I may make in this experiment is the charge is not evenly distributed on the tape, and the charge may be lost while handling. Additional questions. So the first question is to compare the value that I got from using the point charge model to the one that I used the line charge model to calculate. So as you can see here that they are slightly different, but the order of magnitudes are both the same as the times 10 to the negative 8. So I'll say that it's not that big deal. However, they are still different because they are based on different levels of precision while calculating, and obviously the line charge model is closer to the real value because it breaks the tape's length into a small section and integrates through all of them instead of assume the whole tape as a single point charge. And that is my presentation. Thank you for listening.